Today I'm celebrating Neil Oliver, a man whose name only came to my attention in the last few years since the initiation of the COVID pandemic. I don't know if I really enjoy using either of those two words, but he is someone who is most commonly known to people as a British historian. He had hosted history shows of the, let's say, rather tame BBC One documentary style. And so he's a man who is kind of every man. He's inoffensive, polite, erudite, well-spoken, clearly an amazing writer, and yet extremely personable, the sort of person that my parents would have enjoyed watching on a Sunday afternoon or a Tuesday evening, whenever they would have found him on the television, roaming around the British countryside and talking about history. And yet he has become a figure who is seen as an out-and-out radical in recent years, and has been vilified by more, let's say, traditionally conservative people who, now see him as a voice of the far right and make all sorts of outrageous accusations against the guy. And largely because he was willing to question things and saw horrifying changes going on in our society that led him to speak up very modestly, very, very gently, asking questions, perfectly innocent questions, questions that one should expect of someone who is a father, is a public figure, someone who has just a responsible attitude to the world. Now, Scottish education compared to English education, I get the sense from the Scottish people I've met that there's a much broader experience of education, or at least there was in the past, because many of the Scottish people I've known are so much better informed on the issues of the world and the basis of our society. And as a historian, he's especially well informed on what went into the history of the British Isles. And I think that's why he found it so offensive what was being done to our country and the values that were being torn down over the last few years. And he has spoken so eloquently on the subjects of freedom, questioning the values that were being imposed by a very authoritarian and what seems like a totalitarian mindset, which has sought to wreak havoc in our society. The personal and individual sovereignty that has always been valued by British culture has been completely undermined. And there were many times through those years, which, like the years of lockdowns and stuff, were very dark times for everybody, I would say, or nearly everybody. But I myself struggled enormously at that time, seeing our liberties being slowly erased. And his voice was always so well moderated, so reasonable, so kind, and his weekly outpourings became a really valuable part of my diet of stuff to watch. So I want to give thanks today to Neil Oliver and to honour him for the role that he's played in my life and the roles of many, many people's lives, because I know that he's perpetually inundated with mail and gratitude and thanks for what he's done. He's been a voice of reason in very dark times, and so today I wish to celebrate Neil Oliver.